If I had to re-summarise my story just one more time, let me explain it a little bit simpler than that. Okay, 1991, I moved to Perth. 1995, as I was in Perth, I moved to my nan's house, Elaine Myers. After I moved from Elaine Myers' house in 1995, I moved to Queensland. As I moved to Queensland, I caught the plane that had the nose gear problem in Queensland. After that particular event, I ended up moving from Queensland after Jackie ended up spitting over the balcony at the Queensland estate. After that, then I moved back to Perth. I ended up living with Elaine Myers for a time with Patrick. I was sent back home to live with Wendy. After that, then I lived with Wendy for a time. After that particular time, then I moved to Sydney around March 1998. Wendy Myers actually moved to a caravan park in New South Wales, Sydney. Then I moved to 50 Cromer Crescent 1 on Mount Druitt. Wendy Myers had a breast cyst removed from that particular time index. Later on in May 1998, Wendy Myers demanded me to go to Mount Druitt shops. After that particular event, I went up the street as this to do a food shop. I got this 1960s sports car that came up behind me. He threatened me. It was not permitted going around me as it is. He refused to do as he's told. I got off the road. Someone was actually ordered to get out of the back of the car. After that event, then it went from there to the next final event. I rode away for my life. He caught up to me, smacked the back end of my tyre in, buckled and folded the tyre. I was jettisoned from the bike, dislocated my shoulder. I was sent to Mount Druitt Hospital with a hairline fracture on dislocated shoulder in May 1998. Then from that day in time, I ended up moving from there to the next final event. From May 1998, Wendy Myers is saying 3 days after I dislocated my shoulder, she said, saying, "Mark, you don't do any work around the house, I'll bash into you." And I can't help myself. From May 1998 in June to January 2001, Wendy Myers bashed into me until she just about killed me. Anyway, that was that. I woke up in January 2001 with a beating. Woke up, sprung up as it is. She got scared. She ran out of the room. I moved the bed in front of the door. That's that. 8 o'clock in the morning, the cops were called to the house. After that, next final event. After that event, I explained myself to the court judge at the psychiatric hospital. He said, "I don't give a shit, just answer the goddamn questions." I explained very clearly, saying that I was actually mistreated and violently attacked by my mother. That I don't care, just answer the goddamn questions. He said very clearly at the front door, saying, so that's what he said. At the front door. So let me explain this story again. When I got to the psychiatric hospital, the judge actually said to me, saying, Mark and Wendy, please come in. I got greeted by the judge. The judge said to me, saying very clearly, saying, Mark, I was on to your mother a little earlier. She said, saying, you're hearing voices. Okay. After that, then I said, saying, you can't take phone calls before proceedings. Then Mark and Wendy, please come in. Anyway, after that, this is only got my own courtroom. I said, saying, do you see things? Do you hear things? How many people inside the room? Who's king? Who's queen? I fully explained it was a homosexual gay test. Anyway, that was that. After that particular event, it went from there to the next final event. I I was locked away, put in a psychiatric asylum. I was threatened by the judge. He said, Wendy, he's gone dangerous. I said, Judge, I'll have to leave the room because you say you're making false allegations against me. So I left the room. After I left the room, Wendy Myers, just a moment later, came out of the room, did a Dorothy skip. I was sitting down in the court chairs. Wendy Myers did a Dorothy skip on the way out. 2 staff members walked up to me, drugged me unconscious. I was unconscious for 9 months. I woke up in September 11, 2001. Just shortly after waking up as it is, I woke up and found out 9/11/2001 just happened. That's what just happened. And I found that it just happened. It was all over the news. I kept repeating and it kept repeating and kept repeating and it kept exhausting and kept exhausting and kept exhausting and just about murdered the story to upset the audience so physically go ahead and start causing grievous bodily harm. My God, they wouldn't stop the fucking story. Luckily enough, I had enough backup tapes for this to physically enjoy TV. And that was that. Anyways, that was actually that. And so I was actually okay. And one of my was saying to me, saying, Mark, you keep to yourself, I keep to myself, and we'll keep the peace. And she was acting violent, and the thing is, she was saying that for herself. Anyway, I kept to myself, she kept to herself, and she gave me the ghost treatment for a number of years until 2006. Jackie came over to the house, caused mischief and mayhem in the house, disturbed the peace. Wendy started putting the toilet seat down on the toilet and started tormenting the toilet by locking the door. Anyway, she's just saying that someone was actually in the toilet when no one was there. She lied in testimony. She kept on locking the door. It went from there as this next fun event. Next fun event is this. Beyond that event, I got sent to a psychiatric asylum in 2006. I found out about the 2006 Bali bombings, and then I found out about that. Then 2011, 2012, I was sent to a psychiatric asylum. I went to Blacktown Psychiatric Hospital, then to Westmead, and then after that, I remember going to Malcolm's house as it is, and Malcolm, I tripped over upstairs, one of the joist boards fell short of the joist, and I tripped over, I injured myself, I got sent to a psychiatric asylum again. After that event, then Amy got me out of that psychiatric asylum. I got sent to, I went to a hotel flat a little while later, then I went from there to live in Perth. Then after that, I got this phone call going back in June 2012 in 5B Daniel Way Butler in June 2012. I fully explained the 9/11/2001 story in full detail. After I got the full story was said, you're at home, you have no criminal record of any kind, you should be okay, you live your day out as this, by the time you get back home, you don't know what's going on, you get sent to a psychiatric asylum one day as this, and you live out your day. As you live out your day and get sent to a psychiatric asylum, they put you on interrogation meds to get you to read out the church has the authentic Bible. You name it, they steal it. You name what they actually said, they steal it. They steal your bank account, they steal, you name it, they steal it. You name the children, your movie awards, your artwork, your worksite agreements, they steal it. Anyway, by the time you don't realise what's going on, you're suffering, by the time you don't realise what's going on, then they put you on interrogation meds first, then they put you on LSD to make you go crazy, and then they put you on magic pill to erase bad memory to hide this event. By the time you get sent back home, you're suffering a multi-billion-dollar injury, worksite agreement injury, and all the rest of it. And by the time you say, I didn't know what's going on, you're sent home with a multi-billion-dollar debt, and you're given a $1,000 pension, living at that particular event. Anyway, go further ahead beyond that point of reference, and that's that. After that, then it goes from there to the next fun event. You get sent back home, you get kicked out on the street because you have no money, then the repo men come claim your property as it is. All the property you own is now called repo property. Your multi-billion-dollar fortune has been stolen, you name it, they steal it. You get kicked out on the street, you've been put being put restraining orders all around the system, so your family can't contact you, worksite agreements can't contact you, name it, they can't be contacted. It goes further ahead than that. It breaks new laws. By the time you actually get sent directly to, by the time you actually go on the street, you call out for your friends for help. One friend comes past, tells you you're a Ku Klux Klan member. They do a background legal search in the legal system. They do a background check. They find out what's going on. You're a former Klan member of the Ku Klux Klan, and undoubtedly they do a background dig. As they do a background dig, they say, this is vengeance. They fill them into what to do. They're so fucking pissed off about the multi-billion-dollar robbery and the multi-billion-dollar fines and multi-billion-dollar charges that no man can pay. Anyway, because the debt can't be paid, it's actually beyond state annual budget debt, it leads to someone catching a plane to commit suicide. After that, the innocent person commits suicide with the plane. The families just say, look, we'll have to actually terminate our life to say, we have to make a scene big enough to catch up to this particular crime. And that's what the legal family has to say. The family actually said that on that phone call going back in June 2012. And that was that. After that particular event, it went from there to the next phone event that they commit suicide on 9/11/2001, list these bastards in the police department, say 9/11/2001 cops, and put them under judgment for 9/11/2001, the multi-billion-dollar robbery report. And that's that. Then after that, I was sent directly, I contacted Triple O after I got that phone call, told them the story, tried to explain it to him. She said, I'm the same woman contacted back, and she said, that's it, and she locked me up and sent me to a psychiatric asylum at Joondalup. At Joondalup, they said, I had to put you on magic pill to erase bad memory. Didn't tell me what they were doing. They gave me a needle. It was actually a bit of a weird one. They caused me to forget my memory. I forgot the memory from that time. Took a long time to get the memory back. In June 20, and I got out of there in June 2013. They put me to sleep on the drug called Complexil to keep me silent. And then after that, then it went further ahead to the next phone event that I was asleep from June 2013 all the way down to June 2017. Then I started writing movies again from June 2017 all the way down to June 2022. And that's actually about there. Anyway, I started writing movies, and that's where I roughly ended off around there. And now we're living through the days of the coronavirus. I lived out those days with my workers of the Avivo service, and as well as the live service that I've actually got there. And that's actually the full story. Now that's everything fully in a nutshell. I cannot explain anything else, but the thing is, I lived future days to come, and I'm not too sure if these future events are actually true. But the thing is, this is as far as the memory has got as it is, and this is back right to this very day. Today's date is March 20. Let me explain the day. Today's date, what's today's date? Why is this date? March 10th, Thursday. And what year is it? What year is it? Okay. Let me just do a year check. Let me do a year check. Okay. What year is it? March 2022 on the 10th. So it's March 10th, 2022. So that's actually what year it is. And that's the exact day. And today's date is actually Thursday. So please be advised. That's the full story. Nothing missing. Thanks for listening. There's nothing more to talk about. That's the full end of story. Cannot be explained any further beyond that day. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.